All right, so we are going to learn how to calculate the surface area of pyramids. Um, and the first thing we better do is draw a pyramid. So I'm going to draw a square pyramid to begin with. Okay, so we're going to draw a square pyramid. All right, so let's draw a square pyramid. Um, and to draw any type of pyramid, I think the first thing I do is try to draw the base. So I'm going to draw a line like that and draw kind of an angled line. And it's on an angle, but I'm going to try to make it kind of the same size. Okay? So kind of like this. Okay? And then I'm going to take, this is going to be kind of like my front face. And I'm going to draw a triangle here. Okay? So here's a triangle. Okay, so draw that, and then this is going to be the side face. So there we go. And this is going to give the effect of 3 dimensions. Okay. Let's give it some dimensions, shall we? Let's make this 5 meters. And we need to calculate the area of the faces. So let's make this 5.6 meters. So go ahead and write that down. 5 meters and 5.6 meters. And for a square pyramid, these are all the dimensions we're going to need. Okay? Here's why. Let's draw, so this is the pyramid, and let's label a couple of things. Remember we named this peak? We gave it a special name, vertex. So this is our vertex. Now let's draw the net for this. So you guys ready to draw the net? So for the net, you want a square. Let me draw it over here. Just a square. So try to draw it where all the sides are equal. As much as possible. And that's the base laid out. And then we're going to draw on each side. Try to make the triangles as congruent as possible. So what does that mean when I say congruent? I'm doing a poor job here. What does it mean for things to be congruent? Same size, so yeah. You could probably use your ruler a lot better than I can to do that. I think the problem is I made my square a little bit too big. Because I'm trying to fit a total of 3 on here. 3 examples on 1 page. Okay. So this more or less would be what it would look like laid out. Okay. So go ahead and finish up your drawing. I'll give you a moment. If you're waiting, think about what are the shapes, and let's be specific. What are the shapes, and compare the sizes to each other of what we have. Just think about it. Don't tell me anything. But just think of the shapes and how they are in comparison to each other. All right, let's begin. So look at your shapes. We obviously have the center shape, which is it's a square. And what would be the dimensions for the square? What by what? Well, base times height. But what are the actual numbers? 5 by 5. So 5 by 5 meters, not centimeters, by the way. 5 meters by 5 meters. Okay. So one square. How about the triangles? We got four of them. What's unique about those four triangles? Yes. They all have a height of 5.6 meters. Um, Now, would that mean they all are congruent? And that's not always going to be the case. So all of them are congruent. So we have one square and four identical, or let's say congruent. Let's use triangles. So how could we figure out the surface area? Gabriel. Okay, let's do that. Square is 5 times 5. That's going to be 25 square meters. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's just get there. But how many? So once we find the area of that one triangle, what would we do with it? Multiply it by 4. Okay. We have four of them. So we would do 4 times. Because it's 4 times 1/2. Yeah, you could do that. 5.6 times 5 times 2. Yeah, you could do that. 4 times 1/2 is 2. So it would be um, 2 times base times height, or of the triangle. But let's do it this way. I mean, we got a calculator. So it's 4 times 1/2. We can use 0.5. Then the base of the triangle, which is 5, times the height of the triangle, which is 5.6. So you could you could have thought ahead, right? And said, okay, we got 4 times 1/2, which is 2. Then it would be 2 times 5 times 5.6. Or just let the calculator do it all. You do 4 times 0.5 times 5 times 5.6. That's 56. And that's square meters. And so that would be 106 square meters. 25 plus 56. Oh, yeah, it would be, yeah, I'm sorry. 81. 81 square meters. So that would be the whole area. That would be your square and your four congruent triangles. Okay. All right. So on today's assignment, you'll have square pyramids. let's do some rectangular pyramids. Right. I want to just make sure we can visualize it though. So this time, yeah, let's do this. Let's draw a line here and then another line here, maybe longer. Let's try this. Okay. So draw this. Then we're going to make a triangle. Then another triangle this way. And then I'm gonna, so you can see the other part. Usually we do this dotted like this. The part that you can't see would be in the background, but this is a rectangle. Okay. All right. Let's give this some dimensions. Um, let's do 9 centimeters, 12 centimeters. This would be, let's say, uh, 10 centimeters. And over here, we're going to have a height. Let's make this one um, 8 centimeters. We're playing around with more numbers. Okay. Let's flatten this out. Let's make a net. 8 centimeters, yes. 8 centimeters for the height for the base 12, 10 centimeters for the height of base 9. Okay. So we're going to draw a rectangle. There's my rectangle that's going to represent this rectangle. And then we're going to draw triangles. Something like that. This one's a little bigger than the other. So here's my net to represent this. Let's write some dimensions. So let's see, this is going to be 12. This is going to be 9. So this is 9 and this is 12. So it would look like that. So what did we say the height for the triangles that are 9 on the base? That's 10. How about the triangles that have a base of 12? 8. Okay. So this time we have one rectangle. We have one rectangle, right? But what's the thing about the triangles? Are they all congruent? No, we have two that are congruent and another two that are congruent. So we have two that are 9 by 10. And two that are what? What's the other dimensions? 12 by 8. 12 by 8. Two times a half is. You want to do that? You can. Yeah. I don't want to lose anyone, so on here I'm not going to do it. But if you do notice that you have two triangles, and to find the area of a triangle, it's 2 times a half, and it cancels, right? It becomes 1. So then you would just multiply 9 times 10, and then 12 times 8. You don't need the 2. But I won't do that here because I don't want to lose anyone. All right. So let's calculate these, starting with the rectangle, the easy one. What do I do to calculate the area of the rectangle? So that would be 9 times 12. Okay. And then we're going to do the two 9 by 10 triangles. So that would be 2 times 1/2, 10 times 9. Okay. And then we have the two 12 by 8. Okay. Let me write it down. 1/2, 12 times 8. All right, so let's get our calculations. What do you get when you multiply 9 times 12? And then this would be, well, what do you get when you multiply 2 times a half times 10 by 9? And then 2 times a half times 12. Okay. And then we'll get our final. So what's our surface area? And we can't forget our units. We started with centimeters. Centimeters squared. Okay. Okay. So it really helps to visualize this whole thing unwrapped. Okay. The net. Ready to do a triangular one? And this one is the toughest one for me to draw. Triangular. All right. You gotta have like a 3D kind of vision. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna start off with a kind of funky looking angle like this. So just draw an angle. Okay. Then draw a triangle off of that one. And another triangle off of your other edge. Wow, that wasn't so bad. And then these opposite corners would connect. Okay, so I'm going to erase that so it doesn't look so messy. But that's, and let's assume, just for, because I believe everything you would see would have all of these congruent. So let's say that this is 6 inches, and this is 9 inches. 6 inches and 9 inches. Okay, and they're all the same. So if we're going to make a net for this, let's make one triangle. And off of each side, let's make a triangle. Try to make it as congruent as possible. I wish I was a better artist. And this one is not so bad. Because the dimension for each triangle is 6 for the base, 9 for the height. And how many do we have? 4. Oh. Well, let's see. I see where you guys are going. It's 4 congruent triangles. So we would have 4 times 1/2 times 6 times 9. Okay. What's 4 times 1/2? 2. So it would be 2 times 6 times 9 if you want to do that. So we can break it down to 2 times 6 times 9. And our units are square inches. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to be doing today. Any questions? Okay. I'll let you use the rulers in case you want to draw to help visualize. But the assignment is on delta.